Order in the court. Order in the court. Sit your punk ass down before I hit you with this mallet. I said order in the court. Sorry. Guys, welcome back to my little live and direct. Oh, man. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button now. Hit it right now. And leave a comment if you like the content afterward. Guys, I want to send a thank you, right? I want to send a thank you to everybody who supported that video, my last one, everybody who commented and engaged with me. Great conversation, but it proved the point, right? This was a way for me to prove a point that it's no secret. The world is divided on this situation with Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney, right? And it goes to show, right, with just the very few people, not even very few, there was a lot of people actually, there was a few people who left comments. And before we get into anything, let me give that shout out to you guys, man. I'm going to give a shout out to Talk9892. I want to give a shout out to Rick8843. I want to give a shout out to Masterpiece7554, who I engaged with quite a bit and had great conversation. I want to give a shout out to Mark Ethnod, I think I'm saying that right, 4164, who I also had good conversation with. Victor Castillo, -POLII, I hope I got that right, that's what it looked like to me. MI3_4 KOR, right? Thank you to you. Mr. Chop Top 5482, no doubt, my brother, appreciate your comments. CL-Classic Gaming, you guys should go check him out. I think he has an ill channel, most likely about gaming, right? And Aslan. I want to say thank you to y'all for supporting the channel, engaging with me. You guys were great, and I hope we continue to do this. Okay, let's take a breather, right? Let's take a breather. Oh, man. So I'm on X today, and I'm looking at Devin Haney's account. I'm looking at Ryan's account. I'm looking at Victor Conte's account. And it's so crazy. Like, it's so crazy, right? Because, again, right, I can't believe we're here doing this, right? We're continuing to talk about this every day. Like I said, I don't see an end to it. The situation is simmering down, right? We are getting to a point where there's going to be a resolution. The resolution being, I'm almost 100% sure that fight's getting overturned, right? It's in the New York State Athletic Commission's hands. But I am almost 100% sure that fight's getting overturned. And when I say that, we know that Devin is trying to get this overturned to be a win for him. Devin, that's not the way things work. Not here in America, okay? Maybe that happened for you in Mexico. I don't know the story. Yet another controversial story, conspiracy theory type story on top of that. Where you lost the fight in Mexico and your father went and had it overturned somehow, and who the hell knows, right? But that's not the way it works here. If that even happened, I don't know. I'm not going to elaborate on it. I have no idea. But that's not the way it works here. So most likely that fight will be overturned. Devin Haney's record will go back to what it was. Ryan's will go back to what it was. Ryan will serve a fine and most likely a suspension of possibly, I would say, honestly, God, if I had to guess, they could give him 2 years. I highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. I know Devin Haney and his father are looking for a lifetime ban. Not going to happen. Sorry, it's not. And there's a lot of reasons for that. One, it's his first offense. Two, the kids are, he's a cash cow. You know what I mean? He brings all the attention. He's got all the views, the fans. He's got it all when it comes to that. So, not happening. But I do see like a 6-month ban, right? And the reason I say that, right? a suspension. The reason I say that is because they've been talking about, right? Ryan's been already trying to allude to a fight with Spence, right? The winner of him and Fondora. So I honestly don't think we're going to see more than 6 months. Now here's the, I'm just going to say it, man. Here's the shitty part for Devin Haney, right? And I feel for Devin Haney because this kid, how do I want to go about explaining this, right? Because I know how this goes. Listen, right? Both sides had a lot to do with what's going on today, right? That's a fact. We can't deny this. What I'm going to say against Ryan right now, Ryan, you played a foolish game of antics right from the giddy up. And you know what? You did it to get into the head of the Haneys. I get it, right? I get it. A lot of people watching that thought you were cooked. You know, really, to be honest with you, a lot of people didn't think you were even, mentally fit to be in a boxing match. Never mind of that magnitude. So, again, right? You played a game, and you thought you won that game, right? And whether the coming in overweight was part of that, or could you truly not make the weight, right? We'll never really know. With you, it's all games, right? And guys, enough, right? Of being mad at the kid for doing it. Do you know how many kids out here today are using the internet for foolish reasons, antics, and I mean, granted, we are in professional sports, right? But you are talking about the new age kids. These are kids. They're 26 and 25 years old. These are kids, right? And they grew up in the world of social media and internet, and they're using what they have, what they know. And this is why I said maybe like 2 months ago when I made a video about this, and I said, you know what? I don't like the way I see boxing going. I don't like the direction it's heading in, because these antics that Ryan did, that's only going to lead to other fighters doing this, right? It's going to become a trend, and it's going to be stupid, and I hate it because this is not WWE. Again, this is real. This is a very dangerous sport. People can get hurt in this sport. You know what I'm saying? This is a serious, of all sports, this is the most deadly. This is an MMA, right? UFC. So I don't like, the direction I see boxing going in, and I think Ryan is the ambassador for that. So Ryan, no good, bro, right? But again, right, like I said, both sides played a part in what's happening today. We have to look at the facts, right, and then we have to look at the antics, right? So Ryan played a game. Ryan, you did, and whether Haney is the weight bully, right? Whether he's doing this whether he did this in the last 5 fights where he came in overweight after the weigh-in, right? And we have some evidence to that, and we can talk about that, right? But in reality, right, honestly, really speaking, that is the California State Athletic, right? That's them. That's California's commission that has made an issue of that. But in reality, there is no real law and penalty for that. So yes, the California State Commission can bark about it, right? But it hasn't been voted on yet. So is Devin Haney really cheating, or is he taking advantage for the time being? Again, the politics, right? It is what it is, right? I don't like it, right? If Devin Haney's going to talk about being even, equal, keel, right? Then then stick to your guns, right? Stick to your word. Stand on business and come in at an even keel. Just because you show the public something, Devin, right, at weigh-in, like, oh no, I came in at 140. So didn't he, right? And then tomorrow, the next day, right, when the fight comes, you're 25 pounds heavier, but your opponent is only 15 pounds heavier. Well, then, you know, just the same way you're barking about Ryan now, being coming in overweight and being professional, you're only showing the public in front of the lens that you're being professional, but really behind closed doors, for those who don't know and can't see that part of the game, you are coming in overweight, and that is to your advantage. And for anybody on your side who's not talking about that, that's kind of manipulation. I'm going to be real with you. So we're going to talk about how Ryan beat Devin at his own game with the weight situation. But then you know what, Ryan? Again, you played a controversial game with these antics, and you talked a lot about conspiracy. Well, now, right, you have conspiracy. And it's on you, bud, right? It really is. Like, you're dealing with it. You wanted to talk all that conspiracy theory stuff? Well, you got it, right? Now you got a whole world talking about, and yourself talking about you're being tainted, your biggest win is being tainted, listen, nobody's doing anything to you. Ryan, no one's doing anything to you. You did this to yourself, right? Had you been professional, had you come in at weight, had you been more careful about what you were putting in your system, whether you did it intentionally or not, that Victor Conte's right. Victor Conte, I don't like the guy. I'll be dead real about that. Like I might have played around in my last video, and I don't believe in a controversy. I mean, a conspiracy theory. I really don't. But again, right, I'm going to keep going with this. Both sides have some real big issues here, right? Victor Conte is right when he says the burden of proof is on you. And he says that in kind of a malicious way, too. Like, I looked at his ex today, too. You know how many times Victor Conte brings up Ryan Garcia? It's almost every tweet. It's almost every tweet. I kind of don't understand that, right? You're just a supplemental, like you own a supplement company, right? So why are you so engaged in the fighter's business? That I don't understand, right? I do understand that if Ryan's going to make a claim that you had something to do with it, I totally expect you, Victor, to defend yourself, which you did, right? But you are continuing and continuing and continuing. Again, I'll say it again. I was dead serious about me feeling like there's a narrative to assassinate Ryan's character. And Ryan, you asked for that smoke, though. See what I'm saying? And the only reason that this conspiracy theory conversation is alive, right? Devin, I'm now going to pick on you a little bit, is the fact that you're even in business with someone like Victor Conte, right? You have a successful brand, sir. I mean, you were at the top of the echelon. I mean, you were doing it, right? This Ryan fight ruined you. And I think I'm almost 100% sure you can come back from it. But for the meantime, we can't forget what we saw. No matter if they overturn the fight, the world is not going to forget what they saw. It's not going to leave the internet, that's for sure. So this is just bad. It's bad. You know what I mean? Ryan really does get to sit there and say, well, you know what? They're tainting my win. He can sit there and say this story and say, I passed. I was negative for every test they gave me for 10 weeks straight. How is it positive on the 19th and the 21st, the day before and the day after the fight, right? That creates controversy, Devin, right? It creates a conspiracy. You know why? Because you're involved with the biggest cheater ever in sports. Now, I get it. I totally, 100% get it. People can change. That is true, right? But in the eyes, I've changed. I've done some crazy shit in my past. Let me tell you, you don't even know, right? But 100%, 100%, there are people who know me, right? Who know when I walk into a club or if I walk into a bar, even if they see me, the presence of me gets them nervous, right? Even though I changed my life, like a completely 100%. I'm not the same guy I was 3-4 years ago. 100% change. That doesn't mean in the eyes of the other people who knew me for what I was before this, that doesn't mean it's changed for them. And that's what I'm talking about when it comes to Victor. I'm sorry, the guy's banned in every other sport but boxing. And we know this is how he makes his money, so he had to find somewhere to make his money. But you would have thought that someone like him would have had a huge struggle making a living, even in the sport of boxing, because you would have thought no one wants to associate their brand with this guy. No one should be listening to this guy. I mean, he not only was involved in the MLB scandal, but he also was involved in a scandal with Shane Mosley, right? And it goes on and on, Ben Connor, and it goes on and on and on. And it's just, it doesn't look good when someone like this with a record like his is directly involved with the testing agencies. And let me clarify when I say that, because yes, he's made some introductions when Vada first began, right? Flipper Mansky and the rest of the people who own the company or involved with the company. He was talking about being an advocate, and he made those introductions, and that's about it, he says, right? I beg to differ a little bit, but I can't see what I'm saying. That's nothing factual, right? There are no facts to Victor being involved or cheating or doing anything like that. And until there is, we can't really, I mean, the people do anyway, but you really can't make like a claim like that, right? An investigation has to be done, and there is one being done, right? And granted, Victor's right. Again, I'm going to say it. The burden of proof is on you, Ryan. Okay, so at the end of the day, you're going to have to find a way to figure out where this came from, regardless, right? And he's right. He said it too. He said it in a very vindictive way. He didn't give a shit if someone went into your hotel room and spiked your toothpaste. I mean, how unprofessional to say that, but you know what? He's right in saying that, but I wouldn't have said that, Victor, right? Because you painted a picture for people to think that maybe that's what you did, right? Or someone who is associated with you did. Do you see how both sides are feeding the flame, right, to this conspiracy, controversy, right? And where there's smoke, there's fire, right? Now, have you ever heard of that? So the shenanigans need to stop. Victor Conte needs to fall back, right? You media hog, right? And just chill out, bro. Because if I'm Devin and if I'm Bill Haney, I'm telling you to fall back because of your controversy, because we're involved with you. Anything we do can be scrutinized. Chill out, right? If I'm Devin, I'm telling his dad the same thing. Chill out with the videos. Stop it with all the bullshit, right? Because at this point, we don't know. We don't know. So, again, it's just funny. It's so funny because, I mean, these conversations I have with these people, right, and I appreciate it so much, man. I really do love you guys. You guys are awesome, man. You guys make me want to keep doing this, and it's fun. So thank you again. But it's so funny to watch the world be divided on this and how angry they are, how people are, they are in it. They are in it. And they ain't gonna let it go until, a conclusion is found or done or whatever. God, man, the story is like, it's overshadowing everything else. We should be talking about how Canelo Alvarez is being, he's giving up his IBF belt, right? Or is the IBF or the WBC? Maybe it's the IBF. I think it's the IBF, right? We should be talking about how Terrence Crawford's WBC belt is now in recess. You know what I mean? We should be talking about how Alexander Usyk just basically got an extension. Right, he was this close to losing his IBF belt. He just got the thing 5 minutes ago. He's going to lose it right away because he's not fighting his mandatory. We should be talking about this stuff, and some people are, but it's not getting the attention it deserves. Right, this is most certainly like the top story. It has an end, and quite frankly, listen, I don't mind talking about it. Like, it's great. I mean, it's content, and it's hot right now, but I'm tired of it, really, to be honest with you. Like, at the end of the day, guys, I've already said it. Not much is going to happen. I really honestly don't think Ryan cares too much about what happens anymore. I mean, the kid even said, we can't take what Ryan says. By the way, I'm sure everybody will agree with me on this. You can't take what he says as fact, right? You can't take what he says serious. Yeah, okay, so they can ban me, and I'm gonna go start a league myself where everybody can use steroids. Like, guys, he's messing with you, right? He's continuing to do the same thing he's been doing since the beginning of this fight campaign, right? He's doing it. So stop falling for it, because he's just gonna keep doing it, right? Like, come on. And the more you fall for it, the more believable his side becomes, because you guys are actually falling for it. I mean, he sat there kissing steroids, saying he loves steroids when he's caught for steroids. But he's also saying how he's being set up, right? Like, he's messing with you. You know what I mean? Like, it's if it's true, at the end of the day, we know the samples are positive, A and B, same sample, guys. So I said it in my last video. You can't fault the kid for saying that he knows sample B is going to have what was in sample A. It's the same sample. You see what the internet does. You see what media does. It plays on things, and it's just cut it out. You know what I mean? Golly, man. At the end of the day, we're going to get a result. And you know what? The world's going to forget about this eventually. It's just like the MLB stuff with Victor Conte. People are going to move on. They're going to say, it is what it is, right? He's going to find another fight. I think he's going to end up fighting Spence, personally. I don't think Fondora can beat Spence, but you never know. That length, that 80-inch reach, that 6'5" height, and steady business, like staying busy all the time, because he puts out a high punch rate. So we'll see which Spence comes in the ring to fight Fondora, right? But yeah, I want to move on from the Ryan Devin Haney thing. You know what? I'm not going to talk about this again until something drastic happens. Right? Like enough. Like, guys, I get it. Like, it's ridiculous. Oh man, every content creator is like every so-called sports commentator, content creator, whatever you want to call them, boxing content creator. They're all talking about it, right? And every day they grasp like a segment of what's being spoken about, and then they speak about it, right? Or like, it's just crazy. Enough. It is what it is. But yeah, we should be talking about other things. Jesus, we got UFC 302 coming up. Islam Makhachev versus Dustin Poirier. I mean, we should be talking about that. I know this is the boxing side of things, but I do talk MMA here. Like, on this channel, I do boxing and MMA. And for me, MMA is making a huge, like, they're making noise, guys. Honest to God, like, I personally, I'm not gonna lie, right? Up until Turki Al-Sheikh got into the picture, and now we're talking about these 5-on-5 matches. You know what I mean, with Terrence Crawford and with Dreamoff, and like, those are great, right? We're finally seeing cards that they're stacked. But UFC's been doing this for quite some time. So for a while there, I was enjoying UFC a little more than boxing. I ain't gonna lie, right? I mean, it's exciting. It's riveting. You got the best fighting the best all the time. No one's ducking nobody, right? And it's not that many belts. So, you know. But what a fight we have coming up with Islam Makhachev and Dustin Poirier. I don't know who you guys are going for, but I'm gonna just elaborate on this a little bit. Dustin Poirier is a beast. Okay, that guy. Let me tell you, he's weathered though, right? We're gonna get actually, we're gonna talk about a little more than just a little bit, right? Because I'm excited about that fight. Islam Makhachev is not undefeated. He's got one loss. He got knocked out when he first entered the UFC. I think what was his second fight and or third fight. But since then, he went on a 10 fight, 11 fight streak before he fought Charles Oliveira and took the title. Then after that, he went on to fight Alex Volkanovski. Didn't take the title the first time. I don't even think the title was up for grabs at that, but he definitely got it the second time. So I mean, like, we have a fighter who's young, dangerous, like Islam Makhachev. If you want to call him the 2.0 of Khabib Nurmagomedov, I guess you could. I've watched both fighters extensively. I don't think a lot of people give Khabib a lot of credit for his striking. The guy had some good striking. It just didn't look fancy, right? But even more, his ground game was so serious. I mean, you almost, in every fight, you knew what he was going to do. You just couldn't stop it, right? So, I mean, now looking at his best friend, Islam Makhachev, this guy's made tidal waves in UFC with what he's been able to do in this short time here. And I honestly think, I'm not going to give you my pick yet. No, I'm not going to give you my pick yet. But I will say this. That is going to be a massively good fight, right? And we can kind of compare. We have like a window to look into as to what it's going to look like because Dustin Poirier fought Islam Makhachev. And their styles are similar. I do believe that Islam Makhachev has crisper striking, right? If you want to go there. As far as ground game goes, I don't know, man. That's a. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna have to say it's. I'm gonna have to say Khabib has a little better of a ground game, right? Maybe even a lot better. You know what I mean? Like Islam. Khabib's done some crazy things, man. He's a GOAT for a reason. And we're going to see, right? Because I don't think at this point it's fair to even compare. I mean, you can compare them because they come from the same camp, they come from the same country, they've trained together all their life. But as far as what has been accomplished in the UFC, Islam's not even close. So it's hard for me to compare that to what Khabib has been able to do. He's already, if that's the case, he's already lost that comparison because he's got an L on his record, right? But that doesn't make him any less dangerous at this point. He's so serious. And I think his preparation is amazing. What I think Dustin is going to have to do here in this fight in order to be successful is honestly stay away from the ground, right? Like you're going to have to keep it on the feet because Dustin is by far, I think, honest to God, I think Dustin is by far one of the best, if not the best boxer. Excuse me. He has great boxing skills in the UFC. If there were any UFC fighter to transition into boxing, there are only a handful that I could say, I could really say, you know what? You have a good chance of making a career in boxing. Unfortunately, due to your age. You know what I mean? Could you retire and fight a Jake Paul? Absolutely. I think Dustin Poirier would rock Jake Paul, right? Max Holloway, another great, striker, like has real good boxing skills. A lot to work on if you would ever make that transition, let me tell you, because boxing and UFC are total different games. But that's what I think Dustin's going to have to do is stay away from being taken down. 100%, right? We saw what happened with Khabib when it hit the floor. And that's not to say that Dustin doesn't have the capability of submitting Islam. I just think Islam's ground game is far superior, right? Let's just say that. I'm not taking nothing away from Dustin, but I do believe that it's far superior. But I do believe that Dustin Poirier's striking is superior to Islam striking. So, man, if I had to, let's talk about before. I almost gave you my pick. If I had to say, what does Islam have to do, right? If I had to guess what Islam has to do in order to win against Dustin Poirier, it's a tough one, man. I think Islam has to work on countering some of those strikes, right? Staying patient because Dustin's combinations are fast, punches and bunches, and they're deadly accurate, right? He's got textbook style punches, like his elbows high up. I mean, so they're powerful. Most of his left hooks, or right hooks rather, are knockout punches. Literally, that's like his signature move. So the only thing I can think, honestly, Makachev needs to either get him on the ground, right, set it up, level changes, right, in order to feints, in order to get inside, right, successfully and take him down to the ground. Or he has to be patient, right, and allow Dustin to make those mistakes when throwing some of those combos and counteract, right. And when he does counteract, he needs to make Dustin miss, make him pay. That's really what it boils down to. And oh man, what a tough fight, man. I'm just excited to see it because I just know the type of guy Dustin Poirier is and how he's coming in. But let's talk about recent events, right? Recently, he fought for the BMF title with Justin Gaethje and got knocked out, right? Unexpectedly. I think. Oh man, Justin Gaethje's wild. Like, he's not wild, actually. Let me not say that. Aggressive, hard hitting, and at this point in his career, I think Justin. There's two things I see happening, right? He either slowed down, right, and is getting to that age, right, or he's become more wiser and got more ring IQ in that ring, where he slowed his game down, right, and that benefited him in that match with Dustin Poirier because he was able to time him with the kick and then knock him out cold. And I don't think Dustin saw that coming. Justin normally doesn't throw a lot of head kicks. I mean, he does, but he doesn't. Mostly leg kicks. I mean, he punishes your legs, and until you can't even walk anymore, and that's it. It's he finishes you from there. But this time it was a head kick, and he set it up just the same way Edwards did with Kamaru Usman, right? He threw that punch first, and then threw that leg kick, and bow! It was just perfect timing. It was very elusive. It landed, and Dustin was out. Justin becomes the BMF title holder. Now, that same ring IQ, that patience, that when he got in the ring with Max Holloway, who's taken 2 losses to Dustin Poirier, that didn't work out for him, right? I think what Justin should have done was bring back the old Justin against a fighter like Max Holloway. So it was situational, really, for him. But after Dustin being knocked out, man, I watched a documentary about that, and he was very up. He was up close and personal with his fans, and he goes, man, I was depressed. I didn't know what I was doing anymore. I felt like I was done. I was compromised, and he came back, and to beat a very young, talented fighter, and he's got his confidence back now. I guess is what he's trying to say in this special that I watched, Embedded 302. You guys should go check that out. But those fights, you can only go in a ring with a caliber fighter like this so many times, and Dustin has been in there multiple times over in this kind of fight. Now that can do 2 things, right? That can give you experience, but it can also give you some wear and tear. And with a guy like Islam Makhachev, any little mistake, you're going to pay for it. So it's going to be interesting to see which Dustin we get, right? He claims to be committed. Like he claims he's going to knock out Islam Makhachev. and he claimed he's going to do it. What did he say? Did he say that? I'm almost 100% sure that I thought I heard him say he would do that within 2 rounds or 3 rounds. So shout out to you if you're able to do it. That'll be you'll shake the world up, Dustin. You will shake the entire MMA world upside down, turn it right on its head. And you know what? I guess you have to go all in, right? Because you are getting to that age, and how many times are you going to get a chance to be undisputed, right? And get those belts. So I'm excited for that. Now, I'm gonna give you what I think is gonna happen. I think it kind of plays out the same way that Khabib and Dustin Poirier played out, right? I think Khabib Islam. I think Islam's gonna be patient. I think he's gonna allow Dustin to make his moves and counteract, and then find a way to take him down. That's where Dustin is going to have to play a very, very smart, patient game, right? And if he can get back up and keep it on the feet, Dustin, because I'm telling you, man, that's one place you don't want to be. You know what I mean? Like, I know you got your wrestling background. I know you got your jiu-jitsu background, but this is different. And you know it, right? You absolutely know it because you faced it with Khabib. And don't forget, Khabib is still very much involved with training his pupils. Right? He's definitely telling Islam how to fight Dustin, what to expect. So also remember that, right? And what else they could work on. I honestly think that the reign of Islam will continue. And I'd like to see other things happen, and I think they're going to, right? Maybe we'll see Taporia, right, come up and wait and fight him. That would be wow. That would be a crazy fight. I don't know who would win that one. I mean, Taporia is a young, hungry monster, but you never know. We are talking about Islam here, guys, and scary guy. Scary guy. Anyway, that's my pick, man. I'm going with Islam Makhachev. And you know what? I'm going with him in the 3rd round. Maybe the 4th. I say he finishes Dustin. Could be earlier. But that's my pick. I'm going with Islam. I think Islam ends up submitting him. I doubt it'll be a knockout. I've never seen Dustin Poirier hurt to the point where he's knocked out. So I don't think that's going to happen. But submitted, absolutely. So I'm firm on that. I'm not changing that. Other than that, let's agree to disagree with this Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney bullcrap. All right? Enough's enough. All right? If you guys want to comment, you can leave the comments. I'll still engage with you on it because it's fun. But we got to wait. We got to wait, guys, to see how this plays out. Right? We have to. That's really what it boils down to at the end of the day. And I like I said earlier, I really, honestly, I don't even think it matters what the New York Athletics Commission does. I don't even think it matters because at the end of the day, the only person this is bad for, really, I don't see it bad for Ryan. I see it bad for Ryan because there's an asterisk next to that. There's not even going to be a fight. It's being overturned as it never, like I said, never happened. But he is going to have that for the rest of his life there. And don't think for 1 second that moving forward into other fights, if he's not, I doubt he's going to be banned for life. But if he starts fighting other fighters, don't think that it's not going to be a scrutiny, like a rigorous testing, so that you guys can never say this again about it. I promise you that. And I think, you know what, actually, I think that happens moving forward for all fighters. I think this is one of those fights and cases that make a case for all fighters to be rigorously I don't care if it's in the contract or not. I'm almost 100% sure that in the near future we're going to see that. We're going to see that because boxing needs like a mayor, like someone to clean this shit up and enough, right? This is the wild, wild west. It's the only sport that gets away with doing what it does. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. You guys realize? You guys realize like who's the people that are involved with both sides now? Getting back to that for a second before I let you go, the people that are involved, like Shakur Stevenson, right? Not taking jabs at Devin Haney when he's down. Uh, Guys, you guys realize these guys were just going at it, right? Like months ago, right? They were even negotiating a fight where the offer was embarrassing from Devin Haney's side. What was it, a 30-70 split? Shakur rejected the offer. He was like, I'm worth more than that, right? Okay. Honestly, the only reason I even believe Shakur's even not taking jabs at Devin is because he probably thought he could never secure a fight with Ryan, and Shakur's been begging for a fight from everybody. Nobody will even give the kid a fight. So being nice to Devin is gonna kind of maybe open the doors for that and be like, yeah, you know what, man, I'll fight you, right? Because Devin, you got a hard road coming, buddy. I mean, you got Sandor Martin, right? Who's no pushover. You got Isak Cruz, who is a left and right hook monster, and he is aggressive. You are going every fighter moving forward that you step into that square ring with is going to aggressively attack you the way Ryan did. There is a blueprint now, and that sucks. Like, and they're trying to strip you of your belt if you don't fight Sandor Martin. So you're kind of faced with some real hard decisions to make here. I mean, you just fought on April 20th. They want you to fight. That's crazy. What was it, July 18th? I think it's July 18th or something like that. That's only a few months away. You needed some time to recover. Oh man, this is crazy. This is crazy for him. And it only gets worse because let's say you win against Sandor Martin, right? Or if you make him wait, who knows? I haven't seen that there's an official signing, like a contract for that. So let's say he makes Sandor wait and then asks the WBC for an extension so they don't take his belt because a fight with Isak Cruz will be more lucrative. That's a possibility and it can happen, right? But because you want to unify, right? I get it, 100%. I would do the same thing. But I don't know, man. That's a dangerous fight. I like the fight for you because he's small, he's shorter. There's all that weight. See, again, that's another bad thing about the position you're in. If you take the fight with Isak Cruz, the loyalists of King Rai, right, are gonna say you're weight bullying again because obviously he's in 135. He's shorter. He's got a shorter arm reach. They're gonna say you're weight bullying, right? And then if you fight someone like Sandor Martin, he's no pushover. You didn't even get the rest yet. There's so much going on here. Stylistically, I like the fight with Isak Cruz a little better for you. But oh man, if you get hit with one of them things, oh God, I don't know, man. Devin, I don't know, man. You got a rough road ahead of you. Let's say, you know what? Do you realize what you would accomplish, Devin, if you're able to run through all these fighters, redeem yourself, unify the belts? Holy cow, the legacy you'll leave behind. You'll put this whole Ryan thing to sleep. You know what I mean? And I do think at some point, just to put it to rest, just like Miguel Cotto fought Margarito for a second time after finding out he had, casts in his gloves, I do think you should fight Ryan again. I think Ryan should accept that fight again. I don't think you guys should be jerks about what weight it's at, right? I think you should both come to an agreement at a weight that both of you are comfortable with and be professional and make the weight. Ryan, seriously, bro. Like, if it's at 145, it's at 145, right? If it's at 143, like Ryan said, he could do that, whatever. 147, whatever. Welterweight, move up to welterweight. I do think you should do that, Devin. I mean, just to get that lick back. I most certainly think you deserve that, and I think you should do it. Whether you're gonna do it, it's soon to be seen, right? Uh, there's a lot, man. There's a lot for Devin. It's so like he's talking good, and that's what you're supposed to do because you're a champion. But mentally, I'm sure this has left a big burden in your head. Like he said it. He was questioning himself. He was questioning his ability. He was questioning his team. You know what I mean? And then he finds out Ryan popped for Austrian and 19 Randalone, and but still, whether even though he did pop for that, excuse me, it's still something you need to recover from. And I totally feel for you because you're gonna be stripped if you don't fight Santo Martin or ask for the extension and fight Aesop. I don't know. You got some decisions to make, man. This is tough for you. This is very, 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 very tough for you. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Things are gonna play out as they play out in boxing, and nothing's ever a surprise. So, guys, thank you again. Honest to everybody who engaged with me, I love you guys. You guys are truly the reason why I do this. So again, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, content if you like the comment if you like the content, and we'll see you next time.